All right, guys, we're back out here getting it. I started to clean everything up. I ended up doing my little diesel bin as a homemade parts washer. But we got the valve covers clean, did the bolts. I went ahead and cleaned all the head surfaces and the valley surface. I did that off camera because there was a lot of vacuuming involved. As I was scraping it with the razor blade, I vacuumed it, and it took me a lot longer than I thought it would have. I also picked as much block seal that I could out of the rear coolant jackets. So if you see back earlier in the video, you know, those rear ports were almost packed solid. So we got the vacuum down in there, picked most of that junk up. I just got to clean the intake manifold still, and then we can get this back together and we'll be back to the point of view camera and probably this tripod camera. We're not going to be able to fully assemble everything. When I was taking the truck apart, I noticed some things I didn't like. You know, it would probably be fine. The truck did run right, but the cap and rotor have some corrosion on them. So I ordered a brass cap and rotor. You know, as you can see here, try to get the light okay for you guys. We're starting to get some corrosion and build up on the terminals. Rotor is the same way. I'm putting a new serpentine belt on it. It has some small cracks. I thought about doing radiator hoses and stuff since it's apart, but they all still feel good. So we're gonna leave that stuff for now. But I got a whole new tune-up kit coming. We're gonna throw plugs, wires, cap, rotor, new serpentine belt. I ordered a tensioner and an idler pulley also, just for peace of mind. That way we could start fresh. So while we're waiting for those parts to come in, we're gonna go ahead and we'll assemble the truck as fully as we can up to a point. And then I'll stop. We'll probably cut the video. That'll be it for the intake gasket video, right? And move on to something else. You know, we got to remove the oil cooler and stuff before we could put the fan shroud back on. So we're going to get those lines off, get the remote filter off, get the block adapter and stuff off. I got to take the body saw, and we're going to have to trim an ear off the front diff. I could probably show you on the front diff actually back here that we have laying down. And it gives you a little more clearance so you can actually walk the filter in and out. I'm not very worried about it. It's just a little piece of the aluminum casting. But if you look at this differential, it's this little piece right here. So if you cut this nub off, that's about all you need, and you can get in there to get the filter. It's still extremely tight, but it works. So we're abandoning the oil cooler, going to a two-wheel drive oil filter, and we got the stud in the mail, as you guys seen the other day when we did that little unboxing video. So I just wanted to kind of give a clip update. I just been going ahead and cleaning everything. I'm sure nobody wanted to see that. It's taken me way longer than I thought it would, but you know, we had to do like an extra step and a kind of an extra measure to make sure that we can get some longevity out of this truck. And once I get the intake manifold all cleaned up on the mounting flange surfaces, we'll be back and we'll get the intake set down and the gaskets and valve covers and all that junk too. So see you guys shortly. All right, guys, we're ready to get back after it. Got everything all cleaned up now. Intake manifold's clean. You might notice that I didn't pull the plenum apart and address that yet. And the reason for that is, since this truck's an abomination of everything, it must be an earlier intake and spider injection setup because it still has the poppet injectors in it. So I want to save all the plenum gaskets, since we can do that with the intake on the car, and upgrade to the newer injector setup. So we're going to go ahead and get our intake gaskets here placed and try to get this intake manifold back on. We got our updated Felpro gaskets. So let's get some sploogey. Never enough sploogey. Should probably put a bigger hole in that. Okay. Get that capped for now. Get our out of the box twisted up intake gaskets in here. I need to do something with this little bit of harness here. We're just like hanging off the injector plug. Oh no! Oh no! Alright, we're still clean. Need a good stick on the RTV. Okay. So bottom side splooged. Gotta hit the top side so the corners are sealed. Just go a little bloop. Bloop. Awesome. Now I gotta try to get this big mammer jammer in here. Uh-oh, what are we leaking? Got just a little bit of coolant coming out. Oh, that might be leftover brake clean. Okay, now here's the problem, is because I didn't remove the fuel lines. So I normally wedge my hand in the throttle plate. Come in here. Get the harness up. And set her down. Bam. We could kind of half stuff the fuel line so it thinks it's happy and where it wants to be. Okay. Alright, we can deal with that. Find our bolts. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'll get these started. I'll go grab the torque wrench. This is normally a 3-step process. But I've been doing it so long that, you know, you have shortcuts. That whether they're right or wrong, they're still wrong. There we go. So, normally just by running these down by hand with like an extension, and the socket is really close to the first torque setting, and then I use a little tiny ratchet to give it like a little whisaw, and then we'll step up to the torque wrench for the actual torque. It's still kind of a pain in the butt. Okay. Oh, I got RTV all over my injector plug. Some butt. Oh yeah, right there. Man, I hope that's not gonna leak. I didn't even catch that. I didn't even catch that. That's like all the RTV from that section. Oh, I gotta pick it out of that pin now. That's cool. Yeah, right there in the front. Crap. Well, I think that's just gonna be a goop on the thingy. I mean, it's still pushed out of there, so there's junk in there, but might as well make it uglier, right? Alright. How bad is this? Yeah, there's some in there. Okay. Now we get to make a mess. Need a lot of paper towels. I need some brake clean to cut that RTV before it sets. I think I used all my brake clean. I mean, I have more. The can I had out, I think I used. Crap. Doo-doo. Alright, just like that, guys, you can see it rolled on out of there. Here it is on our paper towel. Got that chunky out. Man. It's like every little thing gets me all the time, you know? That's what I'm getting at. How are we doing down here? Yeah, that junk's kind of gooped in there. Maybe I'll put the squirt nozzle on it and like squirt a little bit in there. It fell on the ground over here. See if we can get some in there a little better. All my side cutters are in the tool truck. There we go. Okay, we'll try this. What do I do with the goop now? You have the ADHD too, you know? Like, I'm probably actually holding it in my hand. Okay, let's see. Let's make this a little more squeezable. Squeeze. Okay, there we go. We're going to slide the alternator off the rest of the way so we can get in here a little better. And just right here. Wow. Oh, that's a little, that hole's too little. There we go. Okay, we got that void filled in, and that's what we were going for. There is still RTV in the backside, just not as much as we wanted. Makes me feel a little more comfortable. I'd be doing this again. Have a massive oil leak. Normally when I have help, I try to have someone hold the harness up for me. But, you know, that's not always an option. And as we tighten it down, it's going to squeeze down more, so. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, see, it's pushing all that stuff back out that we just put in there, so that's good. I think the camera on the tripod's gonna die here too. I screwed that up trying to do time lapse. But we live and we learn. It's about growing together, right? I didn't know how to do any of this stuff when I started. I mean, look at my first video. I'm holding the phone wrong, you know? As we start to do a little better, we'll get some new gear. We'll be able to keep trucking along. It's gonna be a pain in the butt with the torque wrench. Yeah, pushing more of that RTV out, that's good. Good. Let's see, you could see, yeah, see that void we filled up all pushed out? So we got good RTV in there. Okay, torque wrench time. Should probably just give it an extension to start with. Damn. Oh. And I know there's a lot of controversy about using an extension, but that's the difference between impacting torque and rotational torque. Say you lose torque with the flex of the joints and the extension, and that's not true for rotational torque. That is true for impacting torque, because on rotational torque you'll take up all that slop and deflection before you hit your actual torque spec, because it still takes the same amount of force to rotate everything. Might need the shorter extension. Sometimes I wish I had a flex head torque wrench. It would make things like this a little easier. You know, I get one sweep. The snap-on torque wrench is older than me, but we have it calibrated. There we go. Oops. Back on there. Okay. I don't know if that's going to fit in this one very good. Well, maybe it will. Okay. Now we'll step through all of them again. Center out. And the last one over here. And get on it. Where's that? Right there. Okay. Cool. Hot dog. Easy peasy. So we almost had a big oops. We got that corrected. Oh, we can put the alternator back up on the stud. Let that float there. And start working on the valve covers. Get these ignition wires out of the way. Sparkulators, lightning tubes, whatever that other guy calls them. Yes. I'll bring these over here and get all this stuff put together. Quick and easy. Just snap the gaskets in. Come on, baby. This one might need a little help. New gaskets. That's the up. Oh, we still got some brake clean in here. Grab a towel. I always thought these were nice. You just push right on in there. You just gotta be careful not to stretch them, because then you end up with extra gasket. You're like, wait a minute. I was just walking them in that little channel. Fairly straightforward. All right, guys, so all the cameras died. Even the tripod camera. It was on 4% when I just walked over there to take the point of view cam off. So we walked the gasket into the valve cover. It has a little receiver groove channel. So this one's good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other one done, and then I'll put the cell phone on the tripod, and we'll finish up this little bit here. So hold on, I'll be right back with you guys. All right, guys, I know this kind of sucks. Sorry about it, but all the cameras died. So we're back on the cell phone. We got our valve covers. I'm gonna try to get these in here. It's gonna be a little tricky. We gotta feed them around the harness. Well, it came out that, oh, I had the intake manifold off first. That's what I did. All right, hold on. Pull the alternator back off, because that's what we do. Okay. We were getting hung up on the purge valve. So, now we put the alternator back on. Get some play in our harness. Wiggle, wiggle. This side should be a lot more straightforward because we just slide it in. See, just like that. Go get the bolts. Missed everything on that one. Back out. Come on. It's a little tight. There we go. Got a bite. So pretty much now, you know, we're at the point. Got new intake gaskets, new valve cover gaskets. We got to throw a new O-ring and gasket on the distributor. And then we'll probably call it a day because we will be waiting for parts. And that will be the end of this intake gasket video. We got the brunt of all this in the video. Removal, the cleaning, things to look for. Other things I've seen that kind of screwed my day up because we got to fix more stuff now. And torquing everything down with new gaskets. So I'll get the distributor dropped with you guys, and then that'll probably be it for the intake gaskets here. I know it's gonna be a long one. Like I said, I think I'm gonna cut it down and then release it in either the unedited one in like a 2-part, and then I'll just do a simplified short one, or just a simplified short one. I don't know yet. You know, I have footage on 3 cameras now because we got some cell phone, the point of view cam, and then I had my regular GoPro on the tripod that the phone's on right now. So we'll see what happens. Know how I feel. It's a lot of editing. The editing software I use is not very user-friendly. But it was a cheap one to get my feet wet and try all this out, so we'll see how that goes. You know, if this goes well, then that's when you start buying stuff and you got to invest in yourself. So be investing in some better editing software. gonna get these valve covers torqued down and then get to the distributor, drop with you guys, and we should have a good rest of the day. I'm gonna be held up, like I said, anyways, until our parts come, and I got those ordered last night when we went in the house after disassembly, and they won't be here for 6 or 7 days. So that's what the shipping estimate was. So at least I'll be able to get this out for you, and then we could fill in with some of the other stuff, you know, with the oil filter relocation removal and all that stuff. It'd be nice that this isn't leaky and growing oil no more, or leaking oil. Thing's a mess. Snug everything down. Poking around though, it is really nice to see that a lot of guys are still supporting these trucks. You know, I know a lot of them are hot rods, some are still daily drivers, but the parts availability is a big one to me. I'm just glad they have a good following. While all this is open too, we'll be able to get a good shot at our idler arm upgrade. The idler's right here in the open, so you can kind of get an idea how that's going to fit in there. Hopefully it's good and easy. You know, it's just, I guess it's like anything else. I got spoiled with the new vehicles, not having to do maintenance on them. Really, this is just a maintenance thing. You know, I don't mind doing it, but through my career, you know, I started at an automotive repair shop, and then I got into trucks because there was more money in trucks than there was in autos. And then I got into equipment because there was more money in equipment than there were trucks. And now I dread working on my autos and want to venture into something new. You know, I want to, not that I want to get rid of my tools, but I don't want to take them anywhere else to use them, if that makes sense. But good, look, there we go. How's that distributor pad look? Because I forgot to look at that when we had the intake off. Let me see back here. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Okay. I got a little goopy out of the distributor hole. Now let's see if I can find these gaskets for the distributor. I hope the kit came with one. Maybe it might not have. Oh yeah, it did. Sweet. Here we go. Look at that. I guess part of this is going to be trying to drop the distributor too. That's going to be a pain in the butt. But we got the new gasket. I'll slide that on here. We've got our marks, like off, let's see here. So that's there, so we need to line that up. So should drop something like so. And we're all the way down, but off a tooth. Okay, so I'm going to walk the distributor all the way around. just one tooth at a time. It sucks when that happens, but what are you gonna do? Beat spinning the motor over and trying to guess on everything again. And it doesn't take that long. We're almost there. A quarter turn away. It just sometimes you don't catch the next tooth. All right, so we got one more tooth to go. Bam. And that should be right there. Right like so. So let's try to get this hold down tab in there and see how we look. This will clock the distributor, so we'll know which way we got it. Oh man, right on the money. Yeah, right on the money. Good. Lucked out. So we'll dig through our bin here and try to find our bolt, which I believe is one of these two. No, it's not that one. The fuel hold down bolt and the distributor hold down bolt are extremely similar. Yeah, see? This one's the distributor. So that was a pretty pain-free process. Get a ratchet wrench and run this baby home. And we just start plugging stuff back in. Oh, oops, going the wrong way. Sweet. That's easy. Our Mark Smart lined up. Plug the distributor back in. And then we're gonna leave the cap and everything off because we got that tune-up coming. We're gonna put the hold down bolt back in the fuel lines, which is this one. Find our 10 milli, which is right here. Forever long bolt. We got to keep working on this thing. I might as well try to find a cordless ratchet. Since the battery tools came out, I haven't used air tools in a long while. And we still bust out an impact every now and then, but it's like they all went to the wayside. Awesome. Okay. We'll get the fuel hold down and in. And actually put it on the correct way this time. So there's the fuel hold down. Nut. Is that the other nut? Nope. Find this stuff in here somewhere. There it is. Have to go get an 8mm. And not put it on upside down this time. I wonder if they bent these fuel lines and that's why they had the retainer on upside down. Had to use the third hand there. See if we can get this one started. It's all cattywampus. It's looking pretty upset, actually. Doesn't like that. Maybe I'm trying to put it on upside down, even though that follows suit with the line size. Alright, well, hold that thought, guys, because I'm going to go check the interweb, and then I will be right back. Alright, we're back at it. I am actually trying to put it on the correct way. I think the problem is that it's was on the wrong way for so long. It's actually pushing the spider injector down, so we're just going to start this side like by a thread. If it'll start. I think. Okay, that one's started. Now I need to try to get this side down. All right, there we go. We got it. Awesome. See, easy peasy. Plug that back in. So we can start laying harness around. Might check some of these bolts, but yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna call it there. Right? It's just assembly now, but most of this, like I said, I'm gonna leave apart just so I have access to other things to make it a little easier until more parts come. And then I'll pick up with you guys while we do some other things, and then bring you back to this, like when we do the tune-up and whatnot. But I thank you guys for coming along. Another long, boring video, but I'll walk through to 4.3 valve cover and intake gaskets, right? And make sure you put your fuel retaining clip on the correct way. So, thank you guys. I appreciate you being here. And if you like the content, please, hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification to stay up to date. I try to upload something every 2-3 days, just to, fill the day, right? I mean, a lot of this is just my day-to-day stuff that I'm bringing you guys along with. So we'll see where it goes from there. And I appreciate it. So thank you. Remember, kindness is free. It doesn't cost you anything to be a decent person, and try to inspire somebody. And hopefully I inspired you by being out here and working on my junk And let's see if you guys can get something done with your projects. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.